just want to say thank you to the choir for bringing such energy to us this morning. Thank you. Good morning and welcome home. I'm Jarmin, your Live Oak Director of Lifespan Faith Development. My pronouns are she, her. Thank you for joining us, we who bring a teaching of hope, we who bring a saving message, who welcome all in our doors. Buddhist, pagans, Christians, atheists, straight, gay, lesbian, and bisexual, all who are searching and seeking, looking for more meaning, more service, more love. All of us gathered here together. I invite you to put your smartphone on the worship mode, which means it won't make any sounds, but you can still post on social media about things you hear here today, to let those who can't be with us this morning share a little bit of our experience, maybe even an invitation to join you here next week. I invite you to let it go. Let go of any heaviness you are carrying today. In this moment, lay your burdens down and make space for joy as we create our Christmas pageant together here in community that is centered in love. Let us begin our time together this morning by lighting our Advent wreath. And if Mark will come up. As Unitarian Universalists, Advent asks, what are we waiting for and preparing for in our lives and in the life of our world? In this season of long nights, Advent invites us to explore the themes of hope, peace, joy, and love. On this third Sunday of Advent, we light a candle for joy. As Universalist Eunice Wake Cobb wrote, I do not ask for this faith because I shrink from paying the great debt of nature. I ask for it that I may have respect for myself, that I may feel life is worth living, that good is worth striving for above and beyond the return of this earth. And above all else, I ask for the faith because it makes life grand and gives us a sublime possibility. And further, it gives a substance of joy and bliss with which nothing earthly ever gave, and which nothing of earth can take away. So I ask, how are you embracing joy each day? May the light of this candle help us to bring more joy into the world. I now invite you to please rise in either body or spirit for our opening hymn, number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. Our music director, our incredible music director, Mr. Curtis White, will lead us in a round.
So this is going to be our leaders on this side and followers over here. You can just watch me and I will help as much as I can.
Come, come, whoever you are, Remain standing, please. Our chalice today is being lit by the Kanapka family. There they come. This is a congregation bound not by creed, but by covenant. May those in agreement affirm our church covenant now. We affirm a caring community of and for all ages, seeking wisdom, doing service, and living with integrity. In our diversity, our covenant holds us in unity as we celebrate our shared journey. You can sit. Good morning. My name is Mark Williams. My pronouns are he, him. One thing I particularly love about this church is the pageant, which we are going to do today. It will be fun. It might be a little chaotic like life, and I really enjoy it every year. I'd like to welcome any guests we have today. Thank you for taking a chance to walk in the door and join us for our worship. If this is your first time here, I welcome you to stop by in the visitors table in the Welcome Center so we can meet you and answer any questions you may have, or ask anybody with a name tag on it, and they'll answer those as well. This is a church that's buzzing not 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Very busy church. The definitive way to keep up with what's happening is through our weekly email newsletter. You can sign up for it at the visitor's desk. And Live Oak UU has many ways for you to connect with our beloved community beyond Sunday. Opportunities are shared on the website or the newsletter. One event happening this week is there's a happy hour on Friday. And also, there's all the Christmas Eve services and everything next week, so come and join us for all of the Christmas festivities, including our pageant today. Our reading today comes from Dr. Seuss, one of the many sources of our living tradition. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. And he puzzled and puzzled till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. What if Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store? What if Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more?
Each Sunday when we gather as a congregation, we bring our joys and sorrows with us into this room. When we ask for remembrance or celebration or prayer or thoughts we make, we make this sanctuary a sacred circle. Today, Barbara Cold Iron shares, I had a wonderful time visiting with Santa and helping families enjoy the day. Thank you, Barbara. And I would just like to add a joy that it was so beautiful seeing everybody in the building yesterday, and the children and the smiles, and Santa. For all the joys and sorrows, spoken and unspoken, we bear witness with our care and our concern. Please join me in singing, Make Me Aware We Are a Sanctuary.
Holy
church and our community outreach are supported not from an outside source, but from within. We invite you to make a financial contribution and help sustain this church's vital work, knowing that every gift, large and small, is appreciated and carefully used in the service of our mission. The QR code or text information for donations is available at the back of the seat in front of you. And if you'd like to donate by credit card, Apple or Google Pay, someone from Stewardship will be out in the Welcome Center to assist you after the service. Every week, we share what is given with an organization whose works reflect our own UU values. This month, we are giving to Texas Impact. As the ushers come forward to receive the offering, I invite you to say with me these words, which I'll just say. We are building beloved community, there we go, with our labor and with our treasure. With gratitude, we receive the offering. May it help us to fill your mission in the world.
Love came down at Christmas. Love all lovely. Love divine. Love was born at Christmas. Star and angels gave the sign. Christina Rosati. The Christmas story is rooted in old tales of the winter solstice. In ancient times in Europe, when the solstice came, our distant ancestors sometimes told stories of a miraculous child born to return us to the light. Throughout the world, people tell stories of a child born to a royal family or an important or rich family who would grow up to lead humankind into a time of truth and justice. The early Christians adapted these stories of miraculous births, but they added a twist to the story. Their miraculous child was not the son of a king, but merely the son of a carpenter. This miraculous child was not the son of a wealthy queen, but was instead the son of a woman whose only wealth was her moral purity. And that Christmas story has been told and retold innumerable times since those early Christians first began telling it over 2,000 years ago. This morning, we are going to recreate the old story of the miraculous birth of Jesus. Using our Unitarian Universalist sources, we'll draw on two early Christian accounts of Jesus' birth from the books of Matthew and Luke. Drawing on our Judeo-Christian heritage and the story of Hanukkah, we are going to make this a story of freedom and liberation. And drawing on our own Universalist heritage, we are going to make this a story of hope for all people. Instead of just listening to or watching the story of the birth of Jesus, we're going to get inside it. Try to forget that you have ever heard this story before, even though you recognize the familiar characters, even though you remember the familiar plot line. Try to hear this story as if this is the first time you've ever heard it. At various points in the story, I'm going to ask some of you who would be willing to come up here with us and play parts of some of the characters in the story. Don't worry, you won't have to speak. When I pause and ask for volunteers to play parts in the story, if you want to be in the story, just simply raise your hand and I will call on you to take part. Then you'll move to the table that's in the back of the sanctuary, always walking slowly and calmly, where the costume team will dress you in a very simple costume. That's adults and kids. Our stage director, Mark, will then place you in our growing tableau upon our chancel. Are you ready? Yeah. Then let's begin. If you wish, close your eyes for a moment. Transport yourself to another time and another place. Imagine that a story is going to unfold before your very eyes, a brand new story that you have never heard before. Imagine, after years and years of hearing stories about people bowing down before powerful kings, emperors, dictators, and tyrants, you finally hear a story in which three powerful, wise people kneel down alongside some shepherds before one tiny newborn child. Imagine that after years of hearing the story after story telling of terrible wars, you are at last hearing the friendly story of a baby, the story of a humble carpenter and his wife, the baby that is born to them in a stable, shepherds in a starlit field who go to see the newborn child, and peaceful animals who gather round in the stable where the baby lies at the cow's feeding trough. Remember that at last you are going to hear a story in which everyone is longing for peace on earth and goodwill to all persons everywhere. Imagine that after years of hearing stories about the results of hatred and oppression and persecutions, you are finally hearing a story about the transforming power of love. Now slowly open your eyes if they're closed. Listen and watch carefully. Let the story begin. To start, let us meet Caesar Augustus, the Emperor of Rome. In those long days, long ago, a decree went out from the Emperor, Caesar Augustus, saying,
all the world should be registered so they can pay taxes to me.
Now I need two people. I have a Joseph, a carpenter, and one that is Mary, who's engaged to Joseph. Mary and Joseph, once you're dressed, could you please walk slowly around the whole sanctuary? All around, because you're making a very long journey together. Oh, and this first scene that we're having is a starlit night. So could everyone please hold up your stars? And if you don't have a star, do your hands like this to be our twinkling stars. Send Mary and Joseph on their way. With Caesar Augustus's decree, all the people were required to go to the town where they had been born to register. For some people, that meant a long, long journey, like Mary and Joseph. Joseph, a carpenter, had to go all the way from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to Bethlehem, the city of David. He went with Mary, the woman he was planning to marry, because she was expecting a child. They started on their long journey, traveling by day and sometimes even by night, their road lit only by your stars. Joseph and Mary knew it was not going to be easy, with Mary almost ready to have a baby. But at least the twinkling stars made the road seem friendly. Let's help them with their travels. Please remain seated and join us in singing the first verse of O Little Town of Bethlehem. They needed some road directions. They didn't have GPS. Thank you for all your stars. And now that Joseph and Mary in Bethlehem, if you haven't done so, you can put your stars down. When Joseph and Mary got to Bethlehem, they discovered that there was no room in the inn, but the inn was the only place in town with comfortable beds. The only place Mary and Joseph could find to take shelter was in a stable cut into the side of a hill. So they settled in to sleep there among the animals. Now, I need some animals. I need a bull and a cow and a camel. And the camel needs to be an adult. So I know I see my cows coming. How about a camel? The gentle animals welcomed Joseph and Mary into their stable. And that very night, the time came for Mary to give birth. Oh, here comes our camel. Slow but sure. Welcome, Mr. Camel. Very nice. The gentle animals welcomed Joseph and Mary into the stable, and that very night, the time came for Mary to give birth. It was a stable, so when the baby was born, of course, there was no cradle for Mary to lay her baby in. But one of the cows was kind enough to lend her feeding trough for a cradle. Thank you so much, Miss Cow. We appreciate it. And Joseph and Mary laid the new baby there among the hay in the feeding trough. Now I'm going to need 4 shepherds. Of course, I'll also need, 4 sheep to go with my shepherds. And I'm going to need a messenger from God of the Israelites, also known as the angel of the Lord. Hello, sheep. Bah. We have another sheep. Bah. Moo. I have no idea what a camel does. Does anybody? Oh, and if we change our minds, it's okay. Yeah. Would someone else like to be a sheep? Okay, Rosie, come on up. It was past the sheep's bedtime, and it was really late in the stable. It made it hard. But look, another sheep is wandering in. In that region, there were shepherds who lived for months at a time out in the fields, watching over their flocks of sheep by night. They had to watch over the sheep because there were wolves in the hills that would gladly eat a sheep if they could get one. On this night, as the shepherds stood watch in their fields, an angel of the Lord stood before them. And our angel of the Lord steps forward. And this angel was truly magnificent, and the glory of God of the Israelites shone around the shepherds. Not surprisingly, the shepherds were terrified. But the angel spoke gently, saying to them,
"Do not be afraid, for I have appeared to bring you good news for great joy for all the people of Israel. To this born this day in the city of David a Savior who is the Messiah. This will be a sign to you. You will find a child wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger."
Now, I see, Now I see that our angel is going to need more help. We're going to need a lot more angels. Perhaps I could prevail on everyone in the congregation to stand for a moment as you're willing and able. Face the shepherds and the sheep and act as a host of angels. And if we have children or adults who weren't sure they wanted to take part, but now you want to join the fun up here on the chancel, go back to our costume table and get dressed as an angel with your halo and come join us. Then the angel who had spoken went on to say, Benson, are you ready? It's okay. Our head angel is on his way because he went on to say, and there was a whole host of angels singing and praising God, and the shepherds were amazed. Let us sing joy to the world as angels. Sing, Our band of angels may sit. As far as love is found, somehow I feel like we found love today. Upon hearing the message from their God and hearing the songs of the angel choir, the shepherds said to one another, "This is amazing. Let's go up to Bethlehem and actually see the baby the first angel told us about." Being good shepherds who cared about their sheep, they brought the sheep along. Our shepherds are already at Bethlehem. So the shepherds went to Bethlehem with their sheep, and there they found Mary and Joseph and the new baby, just as the angel had told them. Afterwards, the shepherds would tell everyone what the angel had said to them about Mary and Joseph's new baby. And everyone who heard their story was amazed. As for Mary, well, Mary already knew her baby was wonderful. But she listened carefully to what the shepherds said and treasured all she heard with her whole heart. The shepherds and the sheep gathered around the manger, admiring the baby. They praised their God for this wonder of new birth, and they prayed and hoped that what the angel said would come true, that there would be peace on earth and goodwill for all people, even for lowly shepherds. Now I'm going to need 3 wise people who are also royalty. After you get your crowns and your finery on, which we have, oh, it's the child care staff. You guys are awesome. And we're going to stop. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem, the 3 wise persons who were kings and queens from the Far East came to Jerusalem. As these 3 wise persons traveled their long, slow journey to Bethlehem, it actually took them 12 days to get there, which is why we talk about the 12 days of Christmas, the Epiphany. They noticed that it was their way was lit by a large star. Where's my star? It is a large and bright star. First, the wise people went to see King Herod. I need someone to be King Herod. That's a surprise. And these 3 wise persons went to Herod and asked, "Where is the child who has been born King of the Jews? For we observed his star in the skies, and we have come to praise him and bring him gifts." The 3 wise persons learned from King Herod about a prophecy which had been spoken long, long ago, that the Messiah would be born in Bethlehem. So the wise persons set off for Bethlehem. And as they walked, they saw ahead of them the star who's going to lead them down the aisle and around and up the front. Well, you know, sometimes stars move. Good job. And our 3, there you go. We're following, and we're going to help them. They're heading to the Far East. Let us remain seated and sing the first verse of We 3 Kings.
Travelers afar,
did an awesome job. Thank you. The wise persons followed the star until it stopped over the stable where the newborn child was lying in the manger. When the wise persons entered the stable and saw this new baby, they were overwhelmed with joy at new life. They knelt down to worship him, and they opened their bags and brought out gifts of gold, because the crowns of kings were made of gold, and frankincense and myrrh. Myrrh was what was put into the oil used to anoint kings. Now we're done. Stay where you are. Let us pause for a moment. Look at the scene. It's a special night with stars and angels and shepherds and wise persons and all these wonderful animals and angels. And they're admiring a special baby that has just been born. Why? Why would all these people stand around for such a long time to admire a tiny new life, a new baby? There is only one reason I can think of. Because the birth of a child always brings hope for the future. And for a people who lived under oppressive Roman rule, all the while longing for liberation, the birth of a child must have been filled with extra meaning for them. Will this be the child who leads us to freedom? Will this be the child who breaks our bonds of slavery and establishes a reign of peace and righteousness? So it is with our world today. And a world that sometimes seems hopeless, we can still look with hope and joy to the future. Every time a baby is born, we hope that this child will be one of the ones, because there are many, who will lead us to a world of righteousness. And every time we tell this Christmas story, it reminds us that we must go out and do the work for liberation and justice. We, you and I, are the ones who are responsible for making sure the world is a better place for all the babies that are born. As our cast of characters hold their places, I invite you to stand in body or in spirit night. You guys can stay right where you are, but you can sing too. Okay?
Holy night, holy storm.
us listen to the words of theologian Howard Thurman as we extinguish our chalice. The work of Christmas. When the song of angels is stilled, when the star in the sky is gone, when the kings and princes are home, when the shepherds are back with their flock, the work of Christmas begins. To find the lost, to heal the broken, to feed the hungry, to release the prisoner, to rebuild the nations, to build peace among others, to make music in the heart. May it be so. Amen. And our actors, please give them a round. We'll just let them stay here.
Okay, got it. We invite you to see to your comfort, grab a quick drink, say a fond hello, and then return here as soon as possible for our congregational meeting, where we will be yes, exciting congregational meeting. That is the attitude. Bring that attitude back here very soon. We will be voting on important church matters. Youth are invited to participate in the meeting. Our child care staff is ready to have fun with the kids. Just sign them in at the nursery. So as these folks leave and as you leave, go in peace and have a good day, and then come back and vote. Go in peace.
Thank you.